Good morning. Welcome. Anything from you? Yes.
Ganga?
Hi.
Namaste. You said we are that.
Yeah, I wanted to say that again.
Yes. I just wanted to express when my mind doesn't need to get engaged in any activity, any whatever, emotional,
Yeah.
whatever, then I just, something falls inside and there's nectar. In satsang, it's even stronger, there's this, some bliss, some nectar. I just want to be always in that. But this is almost physical, touchable. There's something flowing inside. It's not. I just try to describe like a flow, and for me, it's beingness. But I just want to know if it's still like a bliss. You remember all my fits of bliss I have?
Yes. That laughter is from there. Okay.
And it's true that being in satsang activates more. But if I'm alone and just walking on the path or just sitting and I don't have to engage my mind,
that is naturally there, you mean?
It is not mine?
It's naturally experienced.
No, it can be anywhere.
Yeah.
Yes, it can be any moment, anywhere, and it's almost physical, like some nectar would flow inside. And yeah, I just want to know beingness. It's really.
Well, everyone will have his own image and his own way to express what is impossible to express. But you see, you stole my words because somehow I had wanted to say something and it fell into silence. But now since you bring that, it's exactly the same. I wanted to say that you are that, you see. You are that you search for a while. And let's say it's obvious when the mind is not engaged. It's obvious, but not through the mind and the senses and the feelings. It's just naturally freed from the needs of the mind. So I try to say that peace is like that, when you are naturally freed from the needs of the mind, which can still appear according to circumstances and your temperament. But where are you before the mind started and after when it ends? Where are you? Where you always have been, even with activities, with engagements of the mind. So if you indicate that by bliss, beingness, I say it's natural, it's like that. But you see, I am always very careful with those words, because it may also not express itself, and then one calls it peace. And if you don't find again this experience of bliss as you describe, then you may think that you are, where are you then? You see, so it may come in this form for you, but I would not trust the expression, even though it looks very much coming from there. Otherwise, you see, it will give you, it's tricky, because anyway it's the translation of your mind. Huh?
Of mind?
Mind.
Yes.
Yes.
Why
Yes, yes. Now, yeah.
I don't look for that experience.
No, understand.
You know,
Understand. But you see, the description itself is probably very true many times, but many times it will also not express itself like this. That's what I say. Don't give so much real trust also to these signs.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's true that, in fact, when the mind is not engaged, you are just yourself, let's say, obviously, freed from appearances. Because you see, you can also experience bliss and all sorts of this kind of spiritual experiences, even when you have not realized yourself. But you think it's that's the difference. The one who has not realized and still experiences those experiences, he thinks he's in confusion. He takes the experience for it. So, just...
That's why I'm bringing up that, so that I don't want to be confused. To imagine that.
Did I reply?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So beingness is just being that. Point.
Yes.
There's nothing. It is everything and nothing. I mean, we
Don't
cannot
try
put
even to
adjective.
describe, just be it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see what is described and indicated and all that, it's really for the one who search, because otherwise it's even too much, because what is expressed generally is to a one who locates himself a step farther, let's say, who locates himself somewhere. Then of course from somewhere, since he's unsatisfied, he will want to go somewhere else where it is real and more true. So all those descriptions, they somehow give a kind of concept for the mind, which will help, because the direction for the seeker will not add concepts, it will remove concepts to bring him into the source of concepts. But once you are there, don't try to fit what you are with even the directions given. You see?
Ganga, the mind wants to always grab something. Like
Yes.
the direction, like,
Yes.
is that it because that thing, nectar is there,
Yeah, but that's the danger. You see, even when the mind is active, the mind comes from where?
From the self.
From the self, so you are always yourself.
Yeah.
That was a search.
Yeah.
To see that I am always the self, even if my mind is fact.
Yeah.
And if my mind is becoming so spiritual and all that, I am always the self, I am not even that. Yes. Liberated from the tyranny to think it will appear in a certain way. Everything is that, and nothing is that. You see. And that's possible because it's always there. It's a realization of something which the real nature of one, which doesn't depend on birth to appear, on death to disappear. It's because it's there for every living being. Something can appear and something can disappear. So that is meant, the direction is meant there when it said, I am that. All the rest is a creation, a manifestation, an expression of your own self. Let it be intense, let it be confusion, let it be clarity.
It's a relief that it's difficult to get, but it's a relief to know that the mind comes from the self. Because we always, all our life, spiritual life, 30 years, so there was always the mind and the no mind,
Yeah, sure. It's called liberation, That relief. Yes, we are busy for 30 years, or more or less or more, with no mind. But I never saw such a thing as so talkative as that. it always wants to express itself through silence, but mostly also through words.
Because it's been years. It's been going on. Because it's been years going on.
No, but I say, take the example of Papaji, from his all his life. What was his main subject? That, which is undescribable, and yet it's very talkative. It's extremely talkative. For me, I counted this morning, 51 years that I am hearing and always very eager to hear about that. Yeah. You see, when you describe your nectar and all that, from where do you describe that?
I just try to put
No, I know. No, I am asking, from where do you see that? From where can you express that? Because the nectar, it has an object, the nectar you speak about, as an object?
It's from the intellect. I try to put words on
No, we forget what you said, but you said there was a flow of nectar. Okay, what is the object of it?
I don't understand. There's no object.
There is no object. There is no object of it.
Yeah.
And yet, from where do you see it?
That body, maybe it's expressed.
The body is inert.
Is inert, but
No, the body has no consciousness of anything.
so
From where?
from
Yes. But you see, the wave of bliss actually is expressed from where or from who you are in what is. It has no object because it's a wave of expression of itself. So it was true to say it's a bliss of beingness. Yes, a bliss of beingness. So beingness, what is, what you really are, is real, is the reality. It's not the expression. It can be not there before, the mind is busy, so it was not there before. That is there, looks very particular because there is no object. But the importance is not that. The essential, the realization, once for all, is to see that everything which can be grasped or expressed is from who you are. And the search was, I want to know myself. finally, I realized that that was always there. Who cares about waves, even if it is sublime? It's unreal, as everything else. Otherwise, you will again give emphasis to no mind. This bliss has no object. Okay, yet it's an expression.
It's an expression of the self.
Yes, but everything, even a busy mind.
Yes.
Yeah. I had a story with Papaji. He was sitting after lunch on his bed, closed eyes before his nap, and we were a few focusing on him, of course. And he had his eyes closed. We were very quiet, and tears rolled down on his cheeks. And I was captivated, like my friends probably, to see this embodiment of the self, the expression. At that very moment of the peak of my contemplation, he suddenly asked me, "Mira, go and bring the pan." Younger, I would have done it without a word. I became a bit more adult, and I dared to ask him, "But Papaji, we are so much in it. Why you distract me?" You know what he replied?
Everything you do.
"Whom do you think I distract?" I went to find the pan. You understand what you understand. Great teaching. So, what about you? Something to say? Why? Why?
Ganga.
Ah, Olivier.
I was listening to one previous satsang yesterday, and you asked why you are here. And I was contemplating this question.
Yeah. And you came.
I'm here.
So tell me.
I didn't choose to be in this particular
Setting.
yes. And I never prepare what I will say, and everything was so sudden. The sign here in the top of your head. It's very new to me. I didn't know what it means. And then I listened Papaji, and he said, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And I felt something, but this is just a thing. No, really, I think I'm here because I want to let go of the past and be really here now. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, but when you follow the direction of Om Shanti, 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 where are you?
I'm here in the heart.
Who sees the heart?
There's nobody.
Stay there. There is no time there. There is no past, present, and future. You have not to try to be in the now. That's the natural state, you see, and that can produce the time. But you are that natural state as a real nature. You are it always. Only the time, if you listen to the time, it looks sometimes and sometimes not. So don't listen to the creation, to the time. It will speak of something else.
I'm going back home Friday.
Good.
And I will stay here because I believe this is true.
Yes, you go back home, the person, the one called Olivier, goes home, but your real home, you know where it is. Hmm?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Have a good trip. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Real home. Real home.
Ah, okay.
Anybody wants to what? About the present, I again will mention Papaji, but I really was struck and I loved when he said, don't allow any presentation to bind you. So the present is as invaluable as the past and the future.
Ganga, excuse me.
No, nothing.
Since I'm going, I was thinking maybe I can ask you for your blessing and also for a new name,
Olivier, I declared that I was not giving any new name. then Papaji gave you the name Om Shanti. You can, if you like, you take both or one of the two. What do you take? Om Shanti. That's your real Om, which removes all the edge.
Thank you very much.
I think we all have to thank this self. Something you want to ask me? Yes. Just wait.
I don't know. Hi. Sometimes the mind is so strong that it's like being underwater, and then I see, okay, the body, mind, or whatever is underwater, but then and then comes something in what I see really nothing. So just it's like a storm, and at this moment I don't know. There is no distance that I can say, okay, it's not me, and so, and I don't know how to behave in this moment. If I should just.
So you are speaking about what? The mind.
It's the mind, for sure, yes.
And why you take care of the mind when you are here for yourself? Why you are so fascinated and hypnotized by what the mind does? We are here to realize the real nature of things, of beings. We are not here to understand, to fix, or to behave. This will follow. This would be devoted of the self. First realize, instead of being always so busy, hypnotized and dedicating all your energy to fix something. It's unfixable. This creation is unfixable. You know it.
Yes.
Yes. You are helpless here. So turn your attention.
So what I described, this is when I wake up in the night.
Yeah, sure. Who wakes up? Somebody, no?
If I'm awake, then there is no problem to see, okay, it's not me and blah blah, or fuck you mind, or whatever.
Yeah, but it's also a fucking thing, what you know, in reality.
Yes.
You are always yourself, you just don't click to that. And it has nothing to do, in the end, with the discrimination, this is mine, this is no mine, this is what, this is whatever, you know. That's great to give some space in the crowded mind. You see, it's a trick to help to empty somehow the mind, at least for a little bit, so that the breathing of the self can show up. But actually all this is a pure fantasy. The self is never covered.
Yes.
You see, it's a story of the mind. It's a story of a birth.
I see this, but when I wake up, it's really it's like underwater. Because
then you have an experience underwater. Generally one wakes up in the air, no? But okay, it's underwater. You may be a dolphin, no, a whale. You are a whale, you thought you are a human being, you are just a whale. What is the big problem?
The problem is that
you want to be a human being.
no, it's that it's so panic. It's that I think I go crazy.
But you will not. You will not. This is craziness itself. Listen, it's because you work so much with your mind that it becomes so too much. Why don't you just listen? You are here or you are in some activity.
here. But the mind is in some activities.
Yeah, but if you are here, you will not speak about your mind. It doesn't have this reality is lost, it's reality. Just surrender the doership, you see. The mind wants to, because it's uncomfortable, is not well, is panicking, yes. But because of your own story, because of your own working with the mind. Otherwise, I tell you, this may drop also. At once, when it's too much for you, remember at least that it is an illusory problem, an illusory attack, and you stop and just you stop. Don't be attached. Don't desire to do something.
There is still a belief that it helps to do some processes to remove things.
No, the proof. You did that for years, yes. Isn't it? Yeah. And years. Yes. And look at the result. I mean, I don't want to discourage you, yeah. But for here it's of no use. Maybe good for your wife, but for yourself, nothing will help. As if a tool would be bigger, greater, could master your real nature. What is this idea? It's pride. You are already it, that you want or not, that you see it or not. So you have to understand, to realize, I will not see it, I will not feel it, my man will be this fucking the same. And so. Yet, when you don't place yourself in the mind, all this which looks the same may be experienced the same, but when it ends, where are you? As you always have been, but you are obviously yourself. You don't dedicate a moment, that's the problem. Because your belief overpowers the desire to liberate yourself at once. You are bound to your belief.
I see all this.
Okay? Then?
I see all this, and most of the time I'm free, and but then I mean it's just there is a little belief, and then I'm in the mind.
But in the mind, everybody is in his mind.
Yeah.
As a person,
but there is
it
still
happens.
a little belief which thinks that a little bit of word of process.
No, I say no. Yeah. But no, you don't want to take it.
Yes.
No.
I want it, but there is really.
Do you see?
Yeah, it's a resistance.
Of course, and then what? That resistance helps you?
No.
It makes you suffer like hell.
Yeah.
It makes you not sleep. Now it's time, huh?
Yes.
Give up. What do you expect from this samsara? What do you expect? It's totally foolishness, you know. It's not wise.
It was an expectation that in the samsara still possible not to suffer too much. For the body-mind,
Don't worry.
Yeah.
How do you know how the self will take care of you?
Yes.
Ah, then.
I see. I thought it's the self who takes care about this, but the mind was just entering.
Drop all those ideas that the mind enters, that the mind is real. It's all due to illusory belief of the past, which are illusory, you see. There is no entering, there is no disappearing, the mind is not real. So, instead of giving again a thought, yeah, I see that the mind, then you always work with your mind. You are attached, you see. Better to stop. This idea comes, oh, great revelation, now understand the mind entered, etc. You just don't listen. Stop. Otherwise, when will you be for a second without your mind?
Not possible.
Good. Jai.